Since you don't have a scorecard, let me just introduce, first of all, our guests from the Republic of China, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce also, Chu Mao-Ming, Deputy Consul General. You'll hear from him in a moment, and his colleague, Mr. Chen and Wong. And from here stateside, Joe Loughrey, the head of Energy Systems Network, along with Paul Mitchell, who's the president of that 3-year-old organization, aimed at making Indiana the capital of
2 years.
2 years, yeah. Capital of the electric propulsion industry. Mark Miles from Central Indiana Corporate Partnership and Tom Snyder are here. Also, some of our ESN sponsored companies are represented: Interdel, Cummins, Delphi. And anybody from Allison make it?
Yeah.
Late arrival. So thanks to all of you for being here. We're here this morning to announce that in the next step, and we think a long step, in building a mutually profitable relationship between Indiana and the Republic of China, Indiana will be welcoming over 100 delegates from that country to a day-and-a-half summit session here, the Advanced Technology Vehicle Summit, we're calling it, Thursday and Friday. And I'm told by Deputy Consul Chu that this is the first and certainly the largest such meeting on advanced technology of this kind in which China has participated. And I want to thank the people from ESN for their initiative in conceiving and bringing together this meeting. We think it has terrific possibilities and reasonably near-term possibilities to lead to all sorts of positive benefits for the people of our state, both investment potentially by Chinese firms in Indiana. Also, Indiana has a potential market or lead or test market for new Chinese products, and the export of parts from Indiana companies in new relationships with equipment manufacturers from China. We were talking just before you all arrived about at least my view, that there is no bilateral relationship in the world anymore more important than the one between the United States and China. And we're gratified that Indiana can participate in this way in trying to build that relationship into one of mutuality and trust and economic advance for the people of both places. So with that introduction, I'll ask first Joe and then Deputy Consul General Chu to add their own words.
Good morning. Let me start with a little reminder about the Energy Systems Network, which, as the Governor said, started about 2 years ago, though actually we officially announced it April 1st with the help of the Governor last year. What it's all about is trying to create new good jobs for Hoosiers by building a clean tech sector that both helps already existing Hoosier companies to grow, and on the other hand, attract companies from outside Indiana to Indiana to do more of what they do in the area of clean tech here. ESN kind of organized this summit and is co-sponsoring the event with the two major Chinese organizations, the Chinese Chamber of Commerce for Manufacturing Equipment and Electronics, and the Chinese Association of Automobile Manufacturers. This is an invitation-only summit, and it will bring together CEOs and presidents of major component subsystem suppliers, primarily here in Indiana, and meeting with senior executives of leading Chinese vehicle manufacturers, and with the goal to try and forge new partnerships between the equipment manufacturers in China and the components manufacturers resident here in Indiana. The summit will include a delegation of approximately 100 people in the U.S. side that are CEOs and presidents of top business companies, as well as a number of senior technical executives, and the governor mentioned some of the names of the companies that are here already. And the Chinese delegation will be led by Assistant Minister Wang Chao, who with also about 100 people that will represent the Chinese government and automotive and truck manufacturers from China. There'll be at least 15 Chinese vehicle manufacturers and 20 separate government economic development organizations and industry associations. Now, some of the companies that will be here from China and the U.S. have already forged partnerships with one another, so they're not complete unknowns. So there's some level of trust built already between a number of these companies, which we're hoping that as a result of this conference we can further build upon in the mutual interests of both companies. Some of the things that we're going to try and do during the conference and topics are going to be things like challenges and opportunities for commercialization of advanced technology vehicles, including discussions about cost and status of current technology, the potential of advanced technology vehicles to improve fuel economy, reduce oil consumption, and lower emissions. We'll take a look at the vehicle market outlook both in the U.S. and China, including the impact of the current economic downturn and some of the government investment, both sides, in energy technology. Discuss opportunities for R&D, research and development, collaboration, and technology transfer in both directions. And have some action items to discuss relative to enhanced collaboration on how do we increase speed to market, particularly in this area of electric vehicles, plug-in vehicles, where the focus of the discussion will take place. These are going to be pursued through a combination of panel discussions, speeches, side meetings between leaders of the respective companies on both sides. And so this is something we're really excited about. And while we've clearly had the full cooperation of the state and the governor's office and kind of connecting it to things that he's already doing in and around China, this is really primarily an industry-driven event that is a collaborative effort between the major component and subsystem manufacturers in the state. And from that point of view, I think is exciting, but also increases the prospects for real success, not only between the companies, but also the countries that both the sets of companies represent. So we're excited about it, and hope to be able, as time goes on, talk about some of the kinds of things that will happen as a result of this. So with that, I'd like to introduce the Deputy Consul Chu to make a few remarks as well.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Mao Min Chu. I'm the Deputy Consul-General of the People's Republic of China in Chicago. But I'm very pleased to come back to Indianapolis, to Indiana. And my consulate is very happy to work with the state government of Indiana. My former boss, Consul-General Huang, has been to Indiana many times, and he has personally met with Governor Daniels on several occasions. And I think this summit is one of the fruits of the efforts between my consulate and the state government of Indiana. That's the first point I want to make. Secondly, I will say China and United States are highly complementary and mutually beneficial in economic relationship. And the second round of strategic and economic dialogue is now in session in Beijing. Secretary Clinton and Secretary Gardner are leading U.S. delegations now in Beijing. So that clearly shows that we have very strong connections in economic relationship, and we are highly complementary and mutually beneficial. It's kind of a win-win situation. Thirdly, I will say that it's a necessity for both China and the United States in the field of the auto industry, because we need this kind of advanced technology for vehicles. Particularly now we are going to develop some kind of green economy and new technology. So this will be very good for both China and Indiana, and we are very excited about it. We are very enthusiastic about the fruits that will be produced from the summit. Thank you.
Okay. Questions for our guests or any others?
Mr. Chu, are you aware of whether a summit of this kind has taken place in any other states in the United States with your country?
To my knowledge, before there was some kind of summit, but it's not this kind. So this is the first summit of this kind of the Advanced Technology Vehicle Summit between China and the United States.
Can you see a time, sir, when China might build cars in America?
To my knowledge, Chinese automakers, they are looking for overseas opportunities. Every year, they are sending their representatives to the auto shows in Detroit, in Chicago, or in some other cities. But the most important thing is that they are going to have cooperations with the U.S. automakers.
How long have you all been working to put this together?
I could say, well, maybe just a quick answer. Actually, he mentioned already his previous boss, and I think discussions took place well over a year ago, and the formal decision to actually try and move ahead with the summit took place in a meeting we held around just around race time, just before the race last year, a year ago, where the formal decision was taken to let's move ahead and try and organize the summit.
It came up many times when we were in China last fall, too.
Governor, are you going to be taking some of these folks to the race?
Well, they're moving on, unfortunately, before the race, but we may be, you know, this will be a working session. I looked at the agenda, there was no frivolity provided for, but maybe we can sneak a few of them away for just a quick look. We obviously believe there's no better place in America for production of parts or final product in the transportation space, and particularly in the new space of advanced technology. So anything we can do to show them that this is the American headquarters of that business, we're going to do. Ted.
Mr. Shao, if I'm
Chu.
pronouncing it correctly. Chu, excuse me. Given the, how would you assess the capability of the Chinese auto industry now in devising electric cars and plug-in hybrid cars?
They are doing good. They have the R&D. They have to learn from their counterparts from the United States or from Europe or from Japan. Anyway, they have collaborations. And they also developed their own technologies. So I'm confident about it.
Has this kind of summit ever been done between Indiana manufacturers and any other countries? And if not, why? Why?
Am I overlooking what you're saying?
Not that I'm aware of.
Certainly nothing that focused on advanced technology vehicles and clean tech. And I'm unaware of anything of this particular size. There have been, of course, now for almost 3 decades, a lot of interaction with the Japanese government and companies. But as far as I can recall, this really will be breaking new ground.
Governor, are you up for questions about anything else?
Depends what they are.
I was looking, I just glanced, being on vacation, I didn't do a lot of reading, but I just glanced at your speech from Franklin. We
I didn't
talked
get in
about,
any trouble this year, did I?
talked about the card counting case.
Yeah.
Will you ask the Gaming Commission to write any kind of rule or anything?
No, I don't think so. I thought it might be an interesting point of departure for the general thesis of the speech.
But however the court rules, you're going to...
Sure, I think so. Now, if the commission on its own decides to have a look at it. I wouldn't discourage them from doing that, but I was telling someone, literally, I was visiting at the request of the justices with their clerks a few weeks ago, just shooting the breeze and answering their questions. And when I asked them what they were doing that day, it happened, that was the day they heard this case. And the little light bulb went on. I thought, oh, that's a good point of departure for that darn speech I have to write. So that's all.
Do you play blackjack?
Well, I played a little, yeah.
Can you power count? Are you?
Not like Mr. Donovan can. That would take more effort than I ever put into it. I like games where you have a little more control. Huh?
Can you a little?
A little, yeah. All right, anybody else? Thank you very much.
Thank you.